The Old Bridge Secret. The old bridge had stood for centuries, its stone archway covered in creeping ivy, its base worn by time and the gentle flow of the river beneath. It was a landmark in the town, a place where lovers once met, where children played, and where stories of ghosts and hidden treasures had been whispered for generations. But as the years passed, the bridge became more of a relic than a gathering place. People avoided it, claiming the air beneath it always felt too cold, too still. Aarav and Riya had grown up hearing these stories, but they never believed them. They were curious, adventurous, always seeking new places to explore. One evening, just before sunset, they decided to visit the bridge, determined to prove the legends wrong. The path leading to it was overgrown with wildflowers and weeds, and the air did indeed feel cooler the closer they got. As they stood at the center of the bridge, Riya noticed something unusual. The stone beneath her feet seemed to have markings, faint and nearly erased by time. She gasped, her fingers trembling as she traced them. "Look at this," she whispered, her voice filled with awe. Aarav joined her, his heartbeat quickening as he ran his fingers over the worn lines. A spiral, surrounded by strange runes neither of them could recognize. A shiver ran down his spine. This wasn't just a bridge, he murmured, his voice barely above a breath. It was something more. Excitement and unease warred within them as they continued exploring. Beneath the bridge, where the water flowed lazily, they found a gap in the stone wall, an entrance, barely large enough for them to squeeze through. Riya hesitated, fear flickering in her eyes. Aarav swallowed hard. "We came this far," he said, forcing a grin he didn't feel. With a deep breath, they crawled inside, their footsteps echoing against the damp, cold walls. The tunnel led downward, the air growing thicker with the scent of earth and age. Riya's flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows. Every step felt heavier, the silence pressing against their ears. They expected to find a small chamber, perhaps some old tools left behind by builders. But what they stumbled upon made their blood run cold. An underground chamber stretched before them, its walls lined with ancient carvings. At the center stood an altar, upon which rested a rusted metal box. Riya's breath hitched. "What is this place?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Aarav stepped closer, brushing away the dust. His stomach twisted as he saw more symbols, ones that matched those on the bridge. His hands trembled. "I think," he hesitated, swallowing hard, "I think we weren't supposed to find this." The moment he touched the box, the chamber trembled. A deep, resonant hum filled the air, vibrating through their bones. The markings on the walls glowed faintly, pulsating like a heartbeat. Then, a whisper soft, yet deafening filled their ears. "You have awakened the secret."
Panic surged through Riya as the air around them turned icy. The entrance they had crawled through was gone, replaced by solid stone. "Aarav, what did you do?" she cried, gripping his arm. The whispering grew louder, voices overlapping in a language neither of them understood. Then, the ground beneath them cracked. Shadows poured from the fissures like liquid night, coiling and shifting, forming shapes tall, hollow-eyed beings with an ancient, insatiable hunger. Aarav's breath hitched. "The Guardians," he realized in horror. "They've been trapped here, and we set them free." They turned to run, but the shadows were faster. Cold hands gripped their wrists, their ankles, pulling them downward. Riya screamed, terror coursing through her veins as the darkness swallowed them whole. Her last thought was of the bridge, the legends, and the mistake they had made. Then silence. The next morning, the townspeople awoke to a bridge that no longer stood. The ivy, the worn stones, the very structure had vanished overnight, as if it had never existed. Only the river remained, flowing undisturbed, as if keeping a secret hidden beneath its surface. And of Aarav and Riya, there was no sign. Comment what you liked and what you didn't like in this video.